In my like 4 years of doing YouTube, this video might be the one that people have been most excited for, involved in, and curious about. I'm sorry it took such a long time. I am ill right now, and other things happened, as they tend to do, annoyingly. So today I am going to be roasting some of your birth charts. I say roasting gingerly because I am chronically too nice, and so this is also kind of a challenge video. The challenge is be mean to the people who have supported you and gotten you to where you are today. With some creators it already is the next big thing, but that's for another video and not something I'm going to talk about right now. So I have my laptop, I have some charts. I got so many damn entries. I can't count all of them, but it was easily nearing the 300s. So thank you so much to everyone who sent one in. I'm obviously going to do another one of these because it's a lot of fun. But yeah, sorry that I can't get through all of them, otherwise we might be here for 12 years, which I'm not sure any of you are ready to commit to. The first chart that I have here is from vb.jpg. I'm sorry that I don't know exactly what your actual name is. And the reason I've chosen this chart is that there is so much Scorpio going on, and Scorpio I find to be one of the most interesting placements in any planet. Like, it doesn't even matter where it is in your chart. If you've got Scorpio somewhere, it's gonna be fucking things up. That's just what they do. Scorpio is a water sign, but they are so emotionally constipated, it's unbelievable. Scorpio in the moon placement is just like the worst, kind of, because you're feeling everything but you want to still seem cool and collected and like you don't really care, but actually you care so much all the time. And Scorpio Mercury with an ascendant Aries is like, have a day off. Take a break. Scorpio is intense, like you can't figure out what they're thinking and they're always staring at you, and Aries is intense, like they won't let anyone else join in the conversation. Is it a conversation if you're just talking to yourself? A question for all the fire signs. The next chart comes from Kathy. The reason why I find this chart really interesting is because there is little to no earth sign in this chart. It is all water, air, and a smidge of fire. So my question is, do you ever sit down? You've got the super emotional Cancer Sun and Pisces Moon, and then fucking Gemini Mercury never stops talking. Venus Leo is like a wonderful placement, but at the same time, with the Gemini, you're just never gonna be able to get out of your own head, like at all. It's all going on in here. There are other things happening, Leo Venus. So next we have from Check Yes Stink, again, don't know what your actual name is, but I like the username, and they say, this might be one of my favourite DMs I've ever received. Hey, can I nominate my little sister's birth chart for your roasting video? I want to see if this can explain why she's a bitch. Which really is the only reason any of us read astrology, right? Like, that's the whole thing. So, dear esteemed viewer, I think this does give a bit of insight into why your sister may be a bitch, your words, not mine, because holy macaroni, Batman, look at all that Virgo. Virgo is a great sign. To be honest, Virgo kind of embodies everything that I'm not, so I have a lot of envy and admiration for Virgo, because I wish I could have just like a smidge of the maturity and rationale that Virgo tends to have. However, Virgo is also one of the most anxious little fuckers in the whole world. There is always something going on, and there is always a problem that can't be fixed but needs to be fixed. And so there's this like insane, like never stop moving energy, which is really unusual for an earth sign. Earth signs are usually known for their like chill and just kind of want to sleep all the time. Virgo has that, but at the same time they've got this like little buzzing ball of just ah. And then you've got freaking Mars in Pisces. Are you kidding me? So not only do you have the anxious Virgo just like dominating the first 4 placements, then you've got Pisces of all things. Pisces is like, you know Jenna Marbles' dog Kermit?
Kermit, no cry. I hear you like trying to cry. It's alright. It's okay. He's so troubled by his own mind.
That's a Pisces. That's a Pisces right there. So, in response to your query, check yes stink. I don't know your sister, so I'm not gonna say whether or not this confirms her bitchiness, but she has a lot going on. So maybe like get her an ice cream or something and just like pat her on the head, because good lord. The next chart that we have comes from Anna, and she's real sweet. She gives me her chart in case it's particularly roastable, which I appreciate. I appreciate the humility that takes. I'm actually a big fan of this chart. It's all fucking air and water, which is like what I said about never getting out of your own world. That's just air and water. That's all that they can do. Air signs are driven by thought and water signs are driven by emotion, so it's very difficult for them to snap themselves out of like a cycle of just thinking about your own problems and just thinking about what's going on with you, when actually there's a lot of other stuff happening in the world that also needs your attention. However, I like this because of the combination. Moon in Scorpio, we've already established, is a hellfire, but I really like Aquarius placements. Again, it doesn't help the whole Scorpio Moon hellfire situation because Aquarius is also quite emotionally constipated, but they can be kind of like coaxed into telling you about their problems. Scorpio, they don't know what the word feelings means and they have no interest in learning the definition. But see, I like this one because you've got all of that Aquarius and Scorpio energy going on, which is very like, I need to be cool and I'm overthinking everything and it's all very bleh. But then you have a Taurus rising, and Taurus is one of my favourite signs because they obviously have their issues, so does everyone else, but as long as they have a bed and like their favourite movie, they are just so happy, they're so easy to please. And so with a Taurus rising in there, you've got like a really nice like outward energy that is very calm and very rooted. The Aquarius and Scorpio desire to seem cool and to seem ineffable is also kind of supported by Taurus, but not in a super like, look at me, I'm so fucking cool, she says with a plaster on her face. You feel very cool to everyone else, which is a nice trait. Coming from a Leo rising, I wish I was cool. Can you tell? I try so hard. Next, we have a chart from @SpaceVeta, whose Twitter name is I Think Dogs Should Vote. I heavily appreciate that reference.
What's up, everybody? I think dogs should vote!
And this is the first dude chart in this video, because obviously I'm extremely sexist and I hate men. Anyway, it was a joke, everyone. It was a joke. I'm just making sure that everyone understands that was a joke. I only hate some men. Okay, anyway. So this chart might be actually the best balanced one that we've seen so far. You've got fire in the sun and moon, you've got earth in the Mercury, then you've got a Mars, Pisces, and a rising Libra. So you actually have all four elements interacting pretty nicely here. Everything seems to be in a fairly good position for itself. Moon in Sagittarius is what I have, and so I would just like to extend an apology because I get it and it's the worst. Actually, our charts as a whole are fairly similar, the main difference being Mercury Virgo and rising Libra. Once again, my Mercury and rising are both Leo, so I am doing the most all the time. The word extra, I think, was invented by a Leo for a Leo, and then the Leo that got called extra was like real offended for a second and then thought about it and was like, oh no, yeah, no, that's very accurate. This chart has that fun thing where the Lilith and the ascending node are the same sign, which means that your petty, vengeful side comes from the exact same place as the side of you that is growing and changing. So there is a very fine line between you being progressive in yourself and you allowing yourself to be mean, which is a very difficult but very cool dynamic to study from my perspective. The next house we have from Isabella, and she is all earth. Good lord. You've got Capricorn, Taurus, Capricorn, and then Pisces and Scorpio. I generally find that earth signs and water signs are a complicated mix because earth signs are quite detached from their emotions and water signs are all up in them all the time. And also Capricorn, I've always found to be a difficult sign. Maybe it's just my like Leo and Cancer sensitivity. I find it really difficult how like upfront and kind of brutal Capricorns can be often, and so generally I don't have a great reputation with them. One of my ex-boyfriends was a Capricorn. Anyway, and then that talk about earth signs transitions nicely into the last chart that we're looking at today, which comes from Vicky, and she says, I'm curious what you'll think because you have a lot of water placements and I'm pretty much all earth. So as I said before, there's a lot of Capricorn in this chart as well, but the difference to me is the moon in Aries, and I find that other people who have fire signs in a moon placement, I just like have a connection with them because of that like intensity of emotion. And it's something that obviously you can explain to someone, but when they just get it because they feel it as well, that's a good time. And that is unfortunately going to be the end of this video because I can't just keep going. I wish I could. If you have enjoyed this video or this series in general, my other Astrology 101 vids are below, including the one where I roast my own birth chart, which if you watch that, I should have said that at the beginning, this video would make more sense if you watched that first. Who needs, like, marketing and strategy in social media? Not me, apparently. Thank you guys so much for watching. It is really such a wonderful honour that I get to share this weird little hobby of mine with you and that you find it so interesting and connect with it and engage with it so much. Alright guys, I'm gonna go snort some Lemsip because I have been ill for a good week now and I'm real tired of it. I've had enough. I'm gonna go to bed and not wake up until my immune system sorts itself out. Cool. Till next time.